The gentleman from Colorado is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to revise and extend.
So ordered.
I rise in support of the rule to bring H.R. 4173, the Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act of 2009, to the floor of the House. I'd like to thank Chairman Frank and my colleagues on the Financial Services Committee, as well as their staffs, for the hard work in crafting this legislation. I'd also like to thank the other committees who worked on this bill, including the Agriculture Committee, the Energy and Commerce Committee, the Judiciary Committee, the Budget Committee, Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, Committee on Ways and Means, and of course my chair, Chairwoman Slaughter, and the Committee on Rules, as well as my colleague, Representative Perlmutter, for managing the rule. The crafting of this legislation has truly been an all-hands-on-deck effort. The rule is a fair rule. I'd like to thank Chairman Frank for including 2 amendments which I offered into his manager's amendment. Our economy is driven by private investment. In order to encourage investment, we need to give investors peace of mind that in the end of a fraud, they have some recourse. Due to limited protections available, many investors realized significant losses as a result of investment frauds, the most infamous of which was the Madoff Ponzi scheme. In my district in Colorado, the dreams of a comfortable retirement from a lifetime of work or a college education for their kids were stolen from many of my constituents, most of whom had no idea that they were investing in Madoff. The Securities Investor Protection Corporation, or SIPC, is a wise insurance program that is simply outdated and insufficient. Investor protection must evolve. My First Amendment is an important step in this evolution. My amendment directs the Comptroller General to study the feasibility of optional premium-based additional coverage for investors. While there is private insurance available, SIPC Plus will give investors at once choice and peace of mind to know that should they become a victim of a fraud, they're protected and will be able to realize a cash settlement in the event of a fraud to begin rebuilding. My Second Amendment relates to student loans. As a representative of the district that's home to one of our nation's premier public institutions of higher learning, the University of Colorado at Boulder, I'm keenly aware of the importance of college affordability. Families have had less income to pay for students' education, and state governments have had fewer dollars to fund higher education, resulting in higher tuition for students and families. We have a healthy federal student loan program because we recognize that subsidizing the investment in education yields positive economic results. Unfortunately, high-interest private industry loans, disguised as equal alternatives to federal loans, have condemned graduates to debt so outrageous as to destroy the very opportunity for prosperity that college offers. An alarming number of students are taking out high-cost debt, frequently with interest rates as high as 18%. And debt that doesn't offer the same favorable deferment or repayment options as federal loans. Even more troubling, 1 out of 4 private loan borrowers took out no federal Stafford loans, and more than half of them didn't even apply for student aid. My amendment addresses this by requiring that before a private loan is funded, financial aid advisors inform students about the federal loan options that are available to them. In 2007, 2 out of 3 students with private loans hadn't exhausted their lower-cost federal financial aid. Students and their families should apply for and exhaust all of their available, less expensive federal financial aid options before turning to risky and expensive student loans. I'd like to yield back the balance of my time. Thank you.
The gentleman's time has expired.